Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurainun Siregar. I am from PBI 1, and here I will explain about history of English literature. History of English literature category. The first is Old English, Middle English and culture, and the second is the Renaissance drama, and the third metaphysical poetry, and the fourth epic poetry, and next restoration comedy, and next two prose fiction and the novel, and the next romanticism, and the next the Victorian novel, and then later Victorian novelists. And next, I will explain about Renaissance drama. The first great English dramatic is Marlowe. Before the 6th century English drama, being the amateur performance of Bible stories by Kurt goes on public holidays. Marlowe's plays use the 5-act structure and the medium of blank verse, which Shakespeare finds so productive. And the next, metaphysical poetry. The graces of Elizabethan lyric prose is shown, what such love poems are characterized by wit and irony. As he says, towards meaning from experience, the preoccupation with the big questions of love, that of religious faith marks out John and his successors, who are often called metaphysical poets. It can be unhelpful to modern students who are unfamiliar with this adjective and who are led to think that such poets belonged to some kind of school or group, which is not the case. After Jesuits did, John underwent a serious religious conversation and wrote much fine devotional verse. And now, epic poetry, long narrative poems on heroic subject matter, the best work of classical Greek. John Milton, who was Cromwell's secretary, set out to write a great biblical epic, unsure whether to write in Latin or English, but settling for the latter in Paradise Lost. John Darland also wrote epic poetry on classical and biblical subjects. Through Darland's work is little read today. It leads to a comic parody of the epic from or Mark Harry, the best poetry of the mid-80th century is the comic writing of Alexander Pope. Pope is the best regarded comic writer and satirist of English poetry. Okay, now I will explain about restoration comedy. When the death of Oliver Cromwell, plays were no longer prohibited. A new kind of comic drama dealing with issues of sexual politics among the wealthy and the backgrounds aroused. This is a restoration comedy, and the style developed well beyond the restoration period into the mid-8th century almost. The total numbers of plays performed is parts, and the many like real merit, but the best drama is used the restoration convention for a serious examination of contemporary morality. A play which explains which well is The Country Wife by William Wycherley. And the next, prose fiction and the novel. Prose narrative were written in the 6th century, but the novel as we know it could not arise in the absence of a literate public. The popular, very comfortable medium for narrative in the 6th century is the theater. The earliest novels reflect a background view the world because this is the world of the authors and their readers or working people are depicted but patroniously, not from inside knowledge. And now about Romanticism, a movement in philosophy, but especially in literature. Romanticism is the revolt of the sense or passions against the intellect and of the individual against the consensus. Its the first streaming may be seen the work of William Blake and in conventional writers such as Swiss philosopher Jean Jacques Rousseau. Okay, now I will explain about Romanticism, a movement in philosophy, but especially in literature. Romanticism is the revolt of the sense or passions against the intellect and of the individual against the consensus. Its the first string may be seen in the work of William Blake and in continental writers such as Swiss philosopher Jean-Jacques Rousseau and the German playwrights Johann Christoph Fritz Schiller and Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. And now I will explain about Victorian poetry. The major poets of the Victorian era all alphabet, Lord Tennyson. Both are prolific and varied. Their work defies easy classification. Tennyson makes extensive use of classical myth, the Arthurian legend, and has been praised for the beautiful and musical qualities for his writing. And the next is the Victorian novel, the rise of the popular novel. The growth of literacy in the Victorian era leads to enormous diversification in the subject and settings of the novel. In the 19th century, adult literacy increased markedly. Attempts to provide education by the state and self-help schemes are discussed and partly the result of the popularity of the novel. And next, about later Victorian novelists. The turn of the century concerns begin to show in late Victorian novelists such as George Eliot, Mary and Evans and Thomas. Eliot with the Mill won the post, Adam Bede and Middlemarch, and Hardy with the Mayor of Canterbury. The Return of the Native, Tales of the Amberfields, and Jude the Obscures begin to show negative portrait of Victorian society or their stories, and with the death of their protagonists, who cannot escape their destinies. Okay, I think enough for my attention today, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.